Hello, and welcome for this first episode of reading. We're going to read some books. I promised it. We were going to read. We've collected several books, and I wanted to read them, but not in the Let's Play, because it would be just freaking boring. So here are special videos. I'm going to do plenty of them. There isn't any special orders. There isn't any special order, except maybe for some that are like Volume 1, Volume 2, etc. Well, okay, there isn't like episode 1, episode 2 of the reading sessions, no. Anyway, let's just begin. I took all the books that I had in my inventory. Let's just start with... The Disciplines of Magic, Elementalism. So yeah, this episode might gonna be a bit boring, okay? I don't really know. The Disciplines of Magic, Elementalism by Baledur Dal'Goldenstein. Oh, he talked about it. Oh yeah, the dude like not Arathiel, but the first dude in a green robe that we saw, the Nermis mage, you know, that examined us about our fever. He advised us to read some Dal'Goldenstein. So here we are. The Elementalism. Elementalism is the most widespread of the magical disciplines and an art all of its own. Elementalists are able to manipulate the elements of fire, earth, water, and air. 1. Mechanics. In order to summon a fireball, the Elementalist makes an eventuality come true by substantially increasing the temperature of the air, which can then be hurled. Lightning, ice, and earth magics function similarly. Since elementalism does not siphon the spirit of the mage or other individuals and draws exclusively from the environment, its use is deemed relatively safe. Abuse can still lead to physical exhaustion, which might be more related to the carelessness of the mage than to the art itself. Elementalism spells all pack quite a punch, thus making this a very dangerous and offensive art. 2. Reputation. Elementalism is a prestigious school and discipline which is favored by soldiers and battle mages. Even though its use in the civilized world is not objected to, some of the godless people have a divided opinion. On one hand, it is the only kind of magic known to the wild Arazialians, who almost deify the Spamans proficient in this magic. But on the other hand, Skarags deem the manipulation of earth to be unholy and sacrilegious. Is that all? Already over? Okay, I wanted to do like one episode per book, but no. I'm going to do several books in a single episode. Okay, The Disciplines of Magic, Entropy by Baledur Dal'Goldenstein. Entropy, along with psionics, entropy is one of the most famous of the magical disciplines and is part of the school of Sinistra. It is comprised of the manipulation of life and death, the conjuration of supernatural creatures, and the use of necromancy. First, mechanics. An entropic mage brings about eventualities which alter a being's life force. Thus, he does not hesitate to revive deceased beings, imbuing them with artificial life, and so deliberately turning them into lost ones. Undead marionettes obeying his will. Furthermore, entropists understand how to conjure magical anomalies, ethereal creatures such as wolves, bears or trolls, and elementals or weapons. However, the most abominable and dangerous form of entropy is necromancy. In this discipline, the conjurer is able to focus the energy of death and use it against his enemies. To understand this, the student of magic must be aware of the following. Death is an omnipresent power, inherent in every living being. It is present from the day of one's birth, although for the first 2 decades one's life force can withstand it. Afterwards, however, it drains one's vitality little by little until it is spent. Interruption is capable of bringing death that exists in other realities into ours in a focused way. The result is a fearsome thunderstorm of lightning and fire, the sounds of which resemble the cries of the fallen ones. Indeed, necromancy exceeds all other schools in terms of sheer destructiveness, but at the same time the practice draws upon the mage's life force as well. It is not uncommon for entropists themselves to die through the excessive use of their magic. Reputation. The use of entropy is forbidden to path-abiding arcanists and is punishable as a capital offense. The Bone Readers of the Scarab, and rumor has it some mercenaries from Melee, are known for practicing it. While the motivation of the latter remains unknown, the Scarab consider entropy to be holy, which is no wonder considering their general barbarism and pathlessness. Nevertheless, for reasons unknown, the Bone Readers seems to be more successful in bearing the physical consequences of its use. Key elements of the Scaragian entropy include the bones and body parts of the deceased, as well as diverse narcotics by which the Bone Readers believe they are able to establish contact with the dead. It is assumed that they believe the bones function as some sort of focusing point. Of course, if these barbarians had any proper knowledge about magic, such ostentation would be absolutely unnecessary. And the last one of the disciplines of magic I've got, Psionics. There are obviously other ones, but I don't have all of them yet. I will do other videos later. Psionics. Psionics are subject to the school of Sinistra. Psionicists are skilled at manipulating other people's thoughts and feelings. Mechanics. While schools like Mentalism, the respectable counterpart of Psionics, or Elementalism concentrate on altering the physical world, Psionicists directly interfere with one's mind. By doing so, they cause the eyes of their victims to accept different scenarios as truth in order to influence their state of mind. Once the spell is cast, the victim can no longer distinguish between the real and the fictional world. Hence, the affected person can be controlled like a puppet. To give a tangible example, if a Psionicist is standing in front of a group of 3 mercenaries who are threatening him, he is able to make one of them believe that his brothers-in-arms are monstrosities. Then, provided that the spell is successful, that mercenary will turn on his comrades. Another highly dangerous skill within the discipline of psionics is the ability to make oneself invisible in the minds of one's enemies, using the aforementioned principle of mental manipulation. Psionicists simply let their enemies' eyes see a version of reality in which they are not there. 2 seconds, I'm going to sneeze. Okay, I had the time to mute myself. 2. Reputation. Similar to entropy, which is also part of the school of Sinistra, psionics are one of the most notorious of the magical disciplines, the use of which is a punishable offense in the civilized world. Due to its inherent dangers, the reason for this should be self-evident. The extensive number of renowned personalities and rulers who have fallen victim to psionic mages and have committed crimes while being under their spell. Yeah, but if he's good enough, he could control the mind of everyone, and nobody couldn't do anything. Okay, this is where we're going to stop this episode. So obviously, elementalism is about destruction, entropy is conjuration. Oh fuck, and Jesus Christ, in psionics it's illusion. It's in base Skyrim, in vanilla Skyrim. And we are going to end this episode here. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye. Oh, bye bye. 2 sec.